you guys met at Halls then?
Yeah.
How old are you?
26.
26. I'm turning 27 in about a week.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You guys have like a sense of maturity about you.
Oh, so are we spring chickens? Are we? 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
feeling old, you know.
You got old energy.
Well, no, definitely childish. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm definitely older than a lot of the people I hang out with.
Mm.
Yeah, they're all like 23.
Yeah.
You know, so young.
It's a good trap to be caught in.
Yeah.
You kind of like, are you like culturally vampiring the people around you, like the youngsters?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, feeding off their youth.
Yeah.
The youthful blood. Nah.
Yeah.
I actually had a 5-year-old ask if I was an adult. My friend's partner's kid. This was 2 days ago. He's like, "Are you an adult?" I was like, "Yeah." "Well, you look like a boy." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." I think he's just saying that I'm youthful.
Yeah, it was a compliment. It was a compliment.
Definitely a compliment.
Yeah, both my parents have aged pretty well. Sunscreen for the pasty ones.
Yeah.
That'll help.
I just avoid beaches now, if I'm honest. Like, I've given up. I just don't like feeling slimy. It's the like, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I never feel confident or comfortable. And sometimes in the last couple of years, I've managed to feel those feelings for the first time a couple of times. And then now I'm like, oh, I can't. Now I know there's another side. I can't go back to the beach where it's the worst.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I avoid the beaches as well. You know, when you grow up on a coast, that's all there is to do is beaches. And then I moved to Dunedin. I'm like, my beach phase is over.
Thank God there's like a good excuse. It's just too cold to go to the beach, guys. Like, we know there's a beach.
Yeah. I grew up in warm water, so this freaks me out. It is cold down there. I couldn't believe it. Like, my ankles were chattering. You know?
Never heard of that. Eh?
Yeah. The bones rattling together from the chills. It's a classic.
From the band.
The band.
Yeah.
They're that good.
You're saying you got the pink frost.
I do.
Oh, yeah. Them pink bones.
Why did you go to Dunedin?
No particular reason.
Yeah, right.
My because I was going to go to Wellington. I was like, I guess you'd study.
You probably
music
should have
in
gone to Wellington. Right?
Probably should have. Someone was telling me that at the gig last night, I think. So I'm like, oh, bad decision, man. No, it was Rob from Music Planet. Yeah, he's like, you're fucked up, man. But no, I was going to go to Wellington, and then my music teacher was like, no, you should go to Otago. I think you'll fit in there. And then I was like, okay. And then that was it. Yeah.
That easy.
That easy. And I was like, oh, I guess so. If I get in there, that'd be cool. And then I did. So, and I think I do fit in. Meeting this guy.
There's a spot there for everyone.
And where are you from originally?
Invercargill.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
One of the most positive cities in the world.
Yeah.
Well, because, with the streets are so wide, like as if people were going to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, arms wide open, streets wide open. Also, some stats came out recently about being the most polluted city in New Zealand.
Just Tim Shadbolt talking
the
whole time.
Yeah, well, he's actually the greenest one, scootering to the dairy and everything.
Yeah.
That's an old meme, that
It's like, because it's just people just burn coal and it's real industrial. It's like just straight up how it is. And yeah, they reckon it causes like thousands of deaths every year.
Wonderful.
Which is real grim.
But free university.
Free uni.
Yeah, they do.
SAT.
Yeah.
So, you win some, you lose some. Really. You can either live longer with debt or you can die a little bit earlier, spend your money on other things. So I grew up in Timaru, so I spent a lot of time. I would play soccer up and down the coast, and when gigs started, it was like, cool, let's go play in Invercargill. The only place that I ever was asked to sign some cleavage was in Invercargill.
And you're a child. No.
Male or
like a soccer.
cleavage?
Female cleavage.
Damn.
And no, not as a soccer player in the band.
In the band. Yeah.
That would have been great. Like, he's such a good soccer player.
This 15-year-old in this tournament is so hot. That's really inappropriate.
It'd be so good.
Yeah.
It's a very positive crowd of like 6 people, and one of them was, I guess, really into it. You know what I mean?
To the point where you signed their boobs.
Yeah. Well, if someone asks, I was like, well, wasn't. It was awkward enough to be like, what's going on?
I would be so awkward in
Yeah.
that situation.
But you just are you going to make it more awkward by like saying like, oh, I'm going to think about this. I'm going to say no, or are you just going to be like, oh, okay, sick.
Yeah. 'Cause,
With
like,
a Sharpie.
I think that'd be real awkward for me because like I didn't want to do just my signature, you know, because I watched Flight of the Conchords. And you don't just make it your signature. So then I just made mine kind of look like a dick and balls. So it wouldn't be cool to draw that on boobs. I don't think. I probably just have to say no off the bat, you know.
Yeah. Or just improv one.
Improv one.
Give them,
I'm going for consistency here.
Yeah.
You know. It's just because my boss at work, he has to sign heaps of things for work. So then he made his one look very dick and ballish. And I was like, that's a pretty good idea,
pretty funny.
actually. You know, all these legit work documents.
That's so silly.
Yeah. And I was like, well, this is my only opportunity that I have.
Sounds like you've got an assignment for when you get back
Yeah.
to Dunedin to figure out the most dick and ball, non-dick and ball signature you can do.
Yeah.
that still
The
somehow has
cleanest
your
one.
initials. Yeah. So you can chuck them on vinyls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was doing a couple last night, just on stickers.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
In the whammy bathroom.
Yeah.
That's a classic. I should say that this is Haku FM and I'm here with Night Lunch.
Kia ora.
Just fresh off it was well timed.
There we go.
We are in a band.
It's obviously the end of the tour as well. You've really got to the peak.
Yeah. Oh, well, in the middle.
In the middle.
Oh, is
There's
it?
3 dates. We got Wellington in 2 weeks.
Holy
Yeah.
shit! I thought we were at the end. That's amazing. Where are you playing in Wellington?
Moon.
Bar.
I love Moon Bar.
Never played.
I've never
Yeah.
even been there.
It's the only bar I ever played in Wellington because San Fran always scared me with how big it was, and
It's pretty butty.
then there was like nothing else. And Moon always treated us super, super well.
Awesome.
Yeah, I really liked the stage. I remember coming through one time and they were like, "Oh, sorry, Die played the night before and they blew up our sub. So
dumb.
we've had to get this other one in." But like they sorted it all perfectly.
Cracker.
And I don't know if this is still the case. I don't want to, set up any high expectations if they've changed. But they were always cool because they just let us buy a box of beers and put them behind the bar for ourselves.
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I always,
that's cool.
yeah, I've always thought if I owned a venue, that's the kind of thing I would do as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, we've definitely done that at Dive before. Yeah.
Bring BYO.
Maybe it's those connections. I wonder if
Buy
Kenny still
your
works
own.
there.
Yeah, I think he
He
does.
might be able to hook us up.
Now, the first time I had never heard of Night Lunch, and then I went to Welcome to Nowhere, and I was actually hanging out with our friend Caitlin, who from Adja,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
and
Holloway.
yep, we were catching up.
Haraway. Holloway.
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 We'll
edit this out.
because we had all gone through university together.
Oh, cool.
And she was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, I was just wandering around." She's like, "We're off to Night Lunch. You should come see Night Lunch." And I was like, "All right, cool." Like,
Come give it a geese.
she was like, "They're really great." I think she say, "You guys are really great, and that you guys are really funny as well," which is a high.
Sometimes. You know.
Yeah. And I was blown away. I thought it was so cool, and I think
Awesome.
one of the things is that like my big takeaway from that festival was actually the Dunedin contingent, because there were there was like a pocket of there was like mainly
Yeah.
Wellington, pocket of Dunedin bands, and then like a handful of Auckland bands as well. And it was really interesting as someone who like listens to a lot of the music around New Zealand to see it all in one setting and kind of see the differences and the themes and stuff. And
Yeah.
I was just
Cool spot.
I fell in love with. I was reminded why Dunedin tends to be a lot closer to like my heart in terms of the music and stuff that comes out, like Esther Rangoon being there, you guys being there, like how my first question is like the Bo Diddley.
Yeah.
Is this the first band that you've done this in? Or have you
Yes.
so like
Yes.
so what came so like you had the instrument and then let's start the band.
No. So we started the band before the instrument was made.
Ah.
Yeah, our first gig we were going to do, we got asked to play for an old band, Bugnish, but our bass player went off to do different things. So we're like, do we really want to do a 2-piece thing of this, or should we try to do a new project?
Mm.
And I was like, well, we could try to do some of that diddly bow stuff, because I'd made really like crappy ones that you build and they break the first time you play them, you know, but it's really fun. So we're like, we could try to do something with that. Said yes to the gig, which was like 2 months away, something like that.
The classic.
So, yeah. So then I had to build the instrument, and then we had to start writing songs. So that was pretty crack up. And managed to get the instrument built fairly soon, and it might have given us like a month and a bit to write a set.
Speaking of, you got to build a new one, another one.
I do. I got to build a couple of them, you know, because we were breaking strings left, right, and center last night. But yeah, so that was cool. Like, we built it and we're like, okay, well, we'll start off easy. We'll do a 1-note song, which was Maximum Wage. And
then most of our songs are pretty 1-note.
I'm pretty 1-note, you know, just 2 notes every now and then. We're getting up to 3 notes now.
Yeah, some songs.
Now we're getting 2
notes.
diddly bows. That's 2 notes right there. They may be the same note, but, you know.
Harmonies.
Dueling bows.
Yeah.
But no, that was a cool first gig. It was at the Attic. Maybe 10 people showed up. And that was like, we didn't get a full set. So I ended up having to do heaps of banter in between. I was like, yeah, we'll fill out our time with jokes. You know?
Yeah.
And I think we might have we had a like guitar song as well, because we were like, we need.
Yeah, there's guitar in there.
I was like, we got like 4 songs. We'll make it 5 and do banter between each song, which is like kind of carried over into a bit of our set since like the start. I was like, well, people really like the whole talking thing. Besides metal gigs, they want to.
They
just want to thrash their head. They're sitting there like, shut up, man.
They're a tough crowd.
Just play the thing. Yeah, it's crack up.
Someone called you cute once at a gig. That's a metal show.
Cute.
It's very cute. Play the music.
Crack up.
And you're like, whoa.
I must have repressed that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of things are carried over from that gig. Doing songs about how workplaces suck and
a lot of work moaning.
Well, it's very like weirdly relatable because it's not like if you were like, hey, pick some relatable topics. None of the things that you kind of have honed in on would be like the like straight up top 10 list usually.
Yeah.
And like the specificity of some of them, you know what I mean? But then they are all oddly very relatable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like, it's weird. Like, you guys saw the David Farrier thing.
Yeah.
That he mentioned in the air. And that video and that song's popped up in so many places. And I think it is because it for me, it is like a little microcosm of what you guys are talking about. Like, it's the quiet, loud thing, the like 1-note, 2-note thing. And then it is kind of the relatability, but then also the humor and the live, laugh, love line as well. Do you get laughs at shows musically? Have you noticed that at all? Like,
I don't know.
Because I think if someone walked into one of your shows, like, wow, this is really serious music, just because the like the big bangs and stuff. Whereas like I think the second time I saw you was at Whammy, and I was laughing. At the funny lines as well as like being blown away. Like
a lot of people like to yell along to that song.
Yeah, Houseful for sure, and Scary Car.
But
yeah, I don't know about laughing through the music, but probably a little bit.
Yeah, it's pretty goofy.
We did sing some pretty silly things, and I do some really silly faces as well.
Very silly faces.
You know,
and we make a
yell
lot of mistakes
towards a microphone.
And we like all the mistakes. They're the best bits.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, yeah, I did. Now you bring that up. One of my, musicians like watching the reactions to the musicians on stage when they know something's happened. It is, you guys are great. Because you like, especially you, Liv, you can't like, there were like 2 or 3 specific moments on camera in that last flying out a video where you look directly at him with the smile after playing the second book. And it's just, I love that shit. You know, like that is because it's very relatable for people who perform.
Well, we're not perfectionists. I play a instrument that doesn't have any frets, so it's gonna be wrong most of the time.
You know where the bits are.
Yeah,
The notes
I know
are.
around about where it is. Yeah, I'm getting better.
Because I used to be in a two-piece, and we eventually hit up against that kind of against the like limited box of there are two of us and we can only do so much. Have you guys in your like moving forwards from where you are now? Have you like you were just saying you've added a bow to the drum kit? So is that are you kind of starting to look at different avenues on how to push that box out and stuff?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Well, like it was always kind of a thing as well where we wanted to start up doing just fun little easy songs and then maybe eventually do just a bunch of features
Riffing.
with people.
Yeah, that'd be
get
cool.
people in to play with us, but we haven't quite organised that yet.
A lot of organisation.
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
Get
'cause-
one special guest.
Yeah, because when I first started like writing songs with it, because like you know there was no
limited.
YouTube tutorials on how to play the instrument that I made. So a lot of the songs were just based around a new technique that I found. And I was like, oh, if I mute it and then do
That's a song.
a big like sound, then I
Yeah.
can make that into a riff somehow. Or do like a bunch of harmonics for one song.
Just having a play, eh?
Yeah,
But I think, with more elements, like I'd like to get a keyboard in there somewhere.
yeah,
Weird, distorted keyboards.
yeah.
Just real droney, simple stuff.
Yeah, right.
Our last Dunedin show was real cool. It was like very improv-y. We did probably the most improv we've ever done. And it was real
We did
cool.
a lot of improv. Last
We did a lot
night
of
as
throat
well.
singing.
Oh yeah, that was wild actually. So like the Dunedin
It was
show
awesome.
for this tour, someone passed out like halfway through.
It was packed. It
Yeah.
was real
It
intense.
was packed. It was hot. They might have had some other stuff. Who knows? Passed out halfway through, so we had to stop, wait till everyone gave us the go ahead. So we're just sitting there upstage, like, okay, I guess we'll
Did some jokes, did some throat
entertain.
singing.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah, that was a new experience for sure.
And like, does the live shows influence what music comes next? Is that where you play and kind of formulate stuff? Is
Yeah.
actually on live and touring?
Sometimes, yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
say most of the time, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, are you a rehearse heavy band?
No, not
yeah.
really.
Not at the moment.
Maybe
no.
more so if we got a record or there's gigs coming up. That's kind of when we do it.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
It'd
it's
be
just
like
kinda
maybe
just fucking
twice a
around,
week,
you know.
if there's gigs coming up.
Mm.
Yeah. Then once a week if we're just chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
West Auckland.
Woo.
Damn. That's the like Dunedin thing though, right?
There's so much smoke over there. Cracker.
It is a sick way to spend a Saturday.
That's
to be fair.
Might as well. These tires are wearing out anyway. I might as well.
just getting them replaced next
I've got the
week.
WAF next week. Let's just fucking-
Sure, we could find a scary car joke in there somewhere.
Yeah, that was a scary fucking car.
Probably, yeah.
There is a real sense of play still in Dunedin in terms of like just people that I'd missed being up here and I hadn't really realized it, where you like up here everything's very deliberate. You book a show deliberately, you play a show deliberately. It's all like deliberate. And
Yeah.
then I was down in Dunedin doing
Good way to put it.
a show with Harvey Unclear and got to go to the Crown the night after and see a bunch of bands play. And it was just when I was talking to Zach and I was like, oh, you know, Schlee's in this band and Julie's in this band. And like, what's this band to band? And he's like, they kind of do.
Yeah.
Oh, this person's from this other band and do a thing. And it's like, oh yeah, I remember. It's just there's a real sense of like you can just explore and play here in Dunedin, and the room was filled, and everyone just wants to see the musicians kind of in the scene do the things, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been pretty good down there at the moment. And I think a lot of people showing up to gigs and whatnot.
Yeah, people have been hankering for it.
Yeah. Just like little shows as well.
They're always packed.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a lot of venues down there at the minute.
No.
And like the Crown's even on tenterhooks at the moment, which is like
Yeah.
that sucks.
Yeah, it kind of sucks, you know, for a town that's built around a whole bunch of music stuff. They've only got
Yeah, there's
like
a
two
good-
venues and no places to practice and whatnot. No practice spaces.
And an radio organizer as mayor.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Nothing's really happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It does depress me a lot. A lot of like the conversations I had, even prior to the pandemic, was about like how important physical spaces are. Like up here, we've really like you're playing whammy, wine cellar, or back room.
Yeah.
You know, and
It seems to be the same where you go.
yeah,
It doesn't matter where you go.
and we just seem to lose a venue, and then no venue has replaced it. Like I remember the King's Arms going and being like, oh, I wonder where the like next King's Arms place will be, and it just never really arrived.
Never,
And
yeah.
Golden Dawn went, and all these, you know, it just doesn't seem. And then the pandemic on top of that is like, both Christchurch and Dunedin
brutal.
are like in, you know, they could become one venue cities pretty easily.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Just scary as fuck.
It's real weird.
And I don't think people up here, like, I was talking to a friend last week about this, is that a thing that really forms my outlook is like growing up in Timaru and like where culture almost like doesn't exist. And
Pokies.
and yeah, and just like and just the view that like, oh, this like gigs and music and stuff doesn't just inherently exist without anyone doing anything or the conditions for it to like there actually has to be shit like put into it for it to actually exist, and it can just go away.
Actual resources.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was talking with someone the other day, and they said like you kind of need like smaller venues as well. You can't just have all the big venues.
Yeah.
It's like that's where a lot of the culture in a city comes from. You know, when people are like starting up little bands where they just need a place to play to.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Like 20 to 30
nursery,
people,
you know? A nursery for music.
Yeah.
And I think rehearsal spaces as well, which you brought up, like they're forgotten about too, but just a place to fucking practice and make noise that you won't get like called noise control on or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
We've literally we had a mean space that we got kicked out of on George Street, and then since then it's just been houses. Just have a room in a house.
Been annoying neighbours in the late afternoons.
Neighbours are pretty chill though.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Surely there should be some kind of like pitch to like, hey, you guys don't want to, like to the NIMBYs being like, yo, like, you know how it's real lame when people make lots of noise next to you? What if I told you that for a little bit of your taxpayer dollars, we could actually give them a place to go and you wouldn't even have to worry about them? But like, that's the thing. I think so many of musicians are so like under the pump, having to work full-time jobs to pay their rent and pay for tours and do all that stuff just before you even get to make the music. Who the fuck is going to be like, oh yeah, and I'm going to advocate and figure out how to speak to like lawmakers and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're not
go
really
to council meeting. There's a meeting tomorrow at the Crown about this whole Save Our Venues, Dunedin Live Venues thing.
Apartments are getting put up right next door.
to the Crown. It's
But
like
three
office,
apartments,
gym.
3 apartments.
Yeah.
So it's like barely anything, but enough to get
And
noise
like
complaints.
this has happened with Nun Gallery, and Dog with Two Tails as well.
Yeah.
Where like
And that's just
the
Dunedin.
apartments, exact same formula. Apartments came up next to them, and then they weren't allowed to make music.
I think someone was telling me the other day that same thing happened in Australia on like AC/DC Lane or something. And it's like some gig where they put apartments in and shut down a venue on AC/DC Lane, you know. And it's like, what are these people doing?
there's nothing more anti-Australian than that.
Yeah.
Traitors to the country.
But yeah, I really hope we don't lose the Crown.
The Crown. Jones is a legend. The Crown's great.
Yeah.
Dunedin's affordable though. That's another big thing.
Well, I think you'll get more people moving there. There's already people, heading down to Christchurch.
Dunedin is affordable, but I'll tell you what isn't. Lettuce at the moment.
Oh,
$7.50 for some iceberg.
iceberg.
What's going on?
You need to switch to the bok choy.
Yeah, I know.
yeah, literally the spinach was $4.50.
Yeah, $4.50.
And I'm like, well, spinach has actually got stuff in it. It's not just water.
Yeah,
It's got like minerals.
but lettuce aside, you know.
I do like lettuce. Don't get me wrong.
It's a
But
very hot topic at the moment
Yeah.
in my house.
lettuce.
Do you make it down to the farmers market at the railway station much?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do.
It's a powerful, powerful place.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love that place.
Yeah, I got real into it.
Yeah, I find that the potatoes you buy there, they last way longer than the supermarket potatoes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know
In the pantry.
I don't know what they're doing. Yeah.
They just
because I'm a forgetful person. I'll forget I have potatoes, and so I need ones that can last.
Have you found a few sprouted ones?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they'll
like,
sprout all the way up.
Help.
I open my pantry, it's just all sprouts, from one potato.
Yeah.
Not good.
Nah.
What's the night lunch food regimen on tour?
Ooh.
I feel like we were talking about this the other day. I know it was just me. It was sauce. I just love sauce. Because I went to Wolf and I'd ask for extra sauce. So then they just gave me all the sauces that they had in little bottles. I was like, maybe that's the night lunch. It's just chips with every sauce.
Chips and sauce, yeah. It's pretty good. A lot of hot chips.
I don't know. I've
Cheap
also said like kebabs, because they're kind of a lunchy food, but you can get them at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, right.
Definitely nighttime.
I usually bring bananas and trail mix like a fucking
scroggin.
Yeah.
Scroggin's the
or like
night
these
lunch.
things, these truffle things.
Right.
I just that's kind of just what I snack on in my life.
So you're a snacker.
I like snacking. Yeah, I like healthy snacks though. I've been trying to get like way reduce the sugar, for teeth.
That's
and,
fair.
I don't know. Diabetes is in the family. You gotta
look after yourself.
Look after yourself. Whereas I love chips, crunchy foods.
Crunchy, salty.
Yeah, I'm a big
salties.
texture guy too.
Yeah.
But like, do you guys try and do you eat before the show, or is it
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I do.
I can't help it.
Yeah.
I can't help it. Every time I'm like, I shouldn't do this. And I'm like, but I'm fucking hungry.
I didn't eat before last night's show.
Yeah, you didn't.
And as soon as we stopped, I was tuck it out. I think I probably should have eaten.
Sometimes you don't have an appetite because you got so many, you got so much nerves going on. But you just, it always pays to, get some energy in you.
You guys haven't discovered Sneaky Snacky across the road yet?
Who's that? What is it?
It's this Sneaky Snackies across the road on that crossing from above Whammy.
Oh yeah,
You look
yeah.
out and there's like a bubble tea thing that
Oh,
people are
yeah, I
always
saw
standing
them.
at. Right next to that, if you go into that food court, is Sneaky Snacky. Now,
I like the name.
it's amazing. They're most famous for, I personally don't get this, but they're most famous for their like glazed donut chicken burgers.
I've heard about this place.
Yeah, and
I have heard about this place.
It's literally across the road from Whammy.
Yeah,
so,
crack up.
But you've got to try their MSG fries.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the shit. And
They
that,
just-
that ruined gigs at Whammy for me now. I'm just like, oh, I've got to go get some fucking MSG
You can
fries.
smell them from the show. You're
Yeah.
like, this band's good, but
These fries are better.
these fries are calling.
Yeah, that's my. I can't help myself. I've been trying to get like poke bowls and sushi and stuff like that. Trying
Little
something
healthy
light.
things.
Yeah, but
I got I went to, what is it called? It's called like Mexicali across the road.
Mexicali Fresh.
Mexicali Fresh. That was
Mexicali fresh.
It's no
I don't know if-
sombrero, but
Nah, it was pretty average. It was
Sombrero.
dry,
mm.
but it was healthy.
Whereas I just came back here and had a rum and coke.
For tea.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Beautiful.
pretty good.
Rum and coke. Well, I had a big lunch, so which was breakfast food. So,
We
dipping
actually had
into
a good
everything.
lunch today. We had hash browns, beans, and eggs.
that's a damn good weekend
Saturday, baby.
meal.
Yeah, although the eggs, they were weird.
They were weird
They
eggs.
were weird eggs.
They weren't like gross. They were just weak.
Like the eggs themselves, or what
Yeah.
happened to them after they were cooked?
Nah, they were cooked fine.
All the
I
yolks
did
were
a-
attached to the
yeah.
shell.
Yeah, the yolks didn't come out.
So they
It
like
was
just
so weird.
split. So
Yeah.
that seems to me like that'd be premature eggs or something.
Clinging on for
Something like
life.
Yeah. And they're like, I thought you were vegan.
Yeah. A shit one.
Yeah.
You do need some nutritional supplements from time to time.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. We cook plant-based at home,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and just throw in every now and then it's like eggs,
Yeah.
and then every now and then it's like a bit of salmon, and
Yeah.
then it's like it's
Yeah.
kind of it.
Yeah.
And then when I'm out and about, it's sneaky snacky.
Yeah.
Chicken glazed fucking donuts or whatever the heck it is.
Good.
Double downs.
I love double down.
But
But I haven't
it's
had
good.
one for years now. But
Double down. How's this for a 2-courser? Double down, first course. Dessert, deep fried moro.
Oof.
That's bad, eh?
2 deep fried moros.
No one should do that.
they should combo that. and you should get it down at the Queen Street KFC where you sit down. They bring you your food.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Classy.
Fancy KFC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember a friend
crack
couldn't
up.
finish their double down, and so they gave it to me, and then I got it and put it in some bread. And then it was just normal.
A chicken burger.
And I was like, oh, this is so much better.
I'm surprised you weren't arrested after that.
I know.
It's a subversion of their branding.
The sacred branding.
What? So, like, would you guys consider yourselves as a serious band? As in, like,
Yes.
yes,
So serious.
like,
So serious.
not necessarily how you act, but like, do you have like ambitions with the band, or is it really just about like playing and fun and like seeing where it goes and stuff like
Yeah,
that?
that's pretty
Like,
much how we've been approaching it. Is just
Well, yeah.
seeing how it goes. We barely organize anything,
We
and just
don't.
people just invite us, and we're like, oh yeah, that's cool, and it works for us.
I think we might be going through a little transition potentially
To something more, a bit more structured.
Maybe we'll see. Someone needs to do it for us.
Yeah,
'cause
right.
We can
Yeah.
not organize that kind of things. Doesn't compute.
That kind of things.
I just like performing and
Yeah.
writing songs.
Mm.
You know.
because I feel like the B-Nets really caught wind of Night Lunch and like quite of a quick order of succession as well.
I think
A
we're
B-net?
really lucky.
What's
yeah.
a B-net?
You know, like BFM,
Oh,
Radio 1,
gotcha. Yeah,
Radioactive,
yeah.
like all that stuff, which is really cool.
Yeah, definitely very, very, very cool. And
Yeah.
that's
Like I couldn't believe we won that best single thing for the SRN.
yeah.
That was crack up. We weren't even paying attention at the show. We were
We
down
were.
in mimosas at the back. And then we're like, it's Night Lunch. We're like, what?
That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Does that kind of stuff, like, does reception change your attitude to what you're doing, or it's just like, yeah, like that's funny, or like
Maybe
we
a little,
appreciate it.
Nice.
maybe a
It's
little bit.
really cool. Like it's a good way to meet people. That's what I found. Like
Yeah,
make
right.
friends. Made cool friends through it. And that's really awesome.
Yeah.
I don't really
Man, I don't know. I still feel like I was still a little band, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Oh
You
yeah,
know?
definitely.
And then you get recognized on the street by random people.
Very
Like,
occasionally.
I don't know who you are.
But like, yeah, I don't know. I don't want like it'd be cool as to have it as a job. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But like, it's a steep tree to climb. To like put all your, energy into that. So like, I don't know.
Yeah.
We got lives outside of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
Do you think you'd take the plunge on doing some kind of like big tour overseas somewhere?
I at least
would be cool.
want to do that.
Yeah, right.
I want to bare
it's-
minimum do that.
The only way I've managed to travel is with Nightline.
Yeah. Me and
To
Hoff
go to the
have,
North Island.
have never left New Zealand. We
Yeah.
don't even have
We're too
passports.
cheap.
So. Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know.
That would be sick.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Getting more intentional would be really, really cool. But it's just
Just
yeah,
like the
the
more
resources.
the more
Yeah.
I talk to people, the more that they tell me how much touring helps a band. You know? Like you get really
get some
good
more
at
merch
playing your
going.
things because you're playing all the time,
I
playing
think-
to new audiences.
Yeah, and I think you figure out what songs that you have that you're like, I don't like what we're doing there. I'm a
Yeah.
bit bored of that already.
yeah,
You know
there's
what
a
I
bit
mean?
of that.
That kind of pushes you into that next thing.
Mm.
Do you think where would be like the dream road trip tour? Is it like, are you guys America guys, like hitting the road?
I would love
there,
to go
or-
around America. I reckon America would be fascinating. I'd love to go there.
I've been Africa, start in name
South.
all the countries,
through
you know.
Eswatini.
And then I'm going into
Lesotho,
Botswana, right into
Zambia.
Zimbabwe, into
We're gonna hang out
Zambia,
west,
and then we're gonna go into Malawi.
Visit the Congo.
This was us all on the plane, the African continent.
Well, because
We've smashed it.
there's 3 seats in a row on the plane. I just imagine the third person.
The third one was
We had this-
joining in.
There's an
He's joining
18-year-old
in, yeah.
kid who's off to Tyler the Creator, and we're having great
sick.
yarns. So it's
Oh,
good.
amazing.
Yeah, he's starting up a band with his friends.
In Dunedin, yeah.
Yeah.
He's from Christchurch.
Yeah.
He was nice. He
It
was
was
very
great.
friendly.
It was great.
Somehow I'm not surprised at you guys making friends
Yeah.
on a plane. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, usually I sleep on the plane. Like,
You can sleep on planes.
yeah, I can sleep
You
anywhere.
can sleep.
You know.
Bullshit.
Yeah,
So
it's
jealous.
crazy. I can't do that.
Yeah, and I've got ADHD, so that's quite rare. You know,
Mm.
but
Being able to
oof.
sleep.
Yeah,
Who's the like designated driver?
mostly Hoff. He's got the car.
I've got a car.
Yeah, cool.
But we're pretty 50-50.
We're pretty 50-50.
I'm always pretty tired.
Mm.
So I'm like, you should drive.
Yeah, I like driving. Driving's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Bo Diddley, like that you're building and that
Yes.
you're having to build some more of because
Yeah.
I guess they're breaking strings.
Yeah, it needs a tune up. I
Um,
need to fix some things, tweak some things.
Yeah, do you imagine like developing either that instrument like further into other realms or building other things as well as part of the band, or you're kind of like, this is
Yeah.
the thing I like to do?
I love building things. So I'd I definitely want to build some newer instruments too. But I might use that for another project. I don't know if we'll do, it all for night lunch.
Well, because that's an interesting thing, how often a new instrument, whether like most people will just like buy or find an instrument, but say like even an instrument built,
Yeah.
how that often kicks off a new creative project or a new like
Yeah.
lease on life in the thing. And I find that really interesting that you're like someone who can do that, but also with something you build for yourself.
Yeah.
In essence,
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, because I'm blanking on ones at the moment. But I've had a couple of instruments that I've been thinking about building, or mixing in with other things. Because I'd been doing a little bit of like electronics research, making pedals and other little synthy things, which I think would be really cool. But I just need to learn how to do it all. Get down the YouTube rabbit hole.
Did the like practical building and the music creativity start together, or were they two separate things initially that have come together into one thing?
Yeah, well, music has been my thing for forever.
Right.
And then it probably started with like trying to make guitar pedals, and then I'm like, this whole building thing's kind of cool. Like I built like a really shitty spring reverb by like gluing a spring from a speaker to a microphone and then doing all that stuff. And I found a bunch of people who had made diddly bows on YouTube. And I was like, oh man, those look easy as hell to build. I'll build one of those, see what it's like. Yeah. And then built one. It was real crap. Fixed it up. Built another one. And then the one I'm playing now, my dad actually built. So it was almost commission. But yeah, that one's like nice remove as well.
Do you think you go harder on it because you can fix it or build a new one? Do you know what I mean?
Maybe, yeah.
They're a bit disposable.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Because
I mean,
we are
the
churning through strings, though. The string costs.
The string budget
Because
is...
they're bass strings, right?
Yeah.
Which are not
They're not cheap, man.
and like you're wailing on them.
Like we broke 3 last night. I'm like, oh
like
shit, that's like
40
$60,
bucks,
man.
yeah,
Yeah. So I bought 2 packs of strings before coming up because we broke one when we were practicing. We broke one the last practice. We're breaking one every time we play it. So
Pretty much every practice.
It's needing a revamp. Need to find out something to sort it out.
It reminds me a lot of like that band A Place to Bury Strangers, where
They're real cool. I like the drummer. She's awesome.
I really want to see them live. I think it'd be fucking sick. But well, I can't remember. Oliver, I think his name is, the main guy who also is the guy behind Death by Audio.
Yeah.
Pedals, and he just like completely carcasses his guitar every show, and then somehow like the next day just Frankenstein rebuilds the neck back into the thing and like restrings it and shit.
Whoa.
And like just because he knows he can fix it, the day after it just completely
Patch up.
demolishes. It's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm so unpractical. I'm like I can never. I have to look after everything. I'm like, oh fuck, I'll have to throw it out if I break one thing on this thing.
Yeah.
I've only just learned.
I'll take any of your stuff you break, man.
Yeah, right.
It's a real magpie.
I'll fix it up.
Being a bit resourceful is pretty fun as well.
Mm.
I like being a bit of a scavenger.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I really like doing, good jumping off point, is you just get like telephone speakers and you just make microphones out of them.
Yeah, right.
That's the easiest one, Sounds real shit, but kind of cool. Yeah. So I did like a gas mask microphone with a telephone speaker.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That was for our first gig as well, using that thing.
I remember seeing there was this band called TFF way back in the day, down in Dunedin. This was like when I was still in high school, so probably like 2010s or whatever. There's this drummer called Rory, who was like one of the craziest drummers I've ever seen. I think he just went straight to Berkeley over in America. He's like, yeah, cool, I'm off to Berkeley anyway. But I remember seeing him play a show out at Chick's Hotel where he had built like a gas mask microphone for himself so he could drum.
Yeah.
And
That's
was
cool.
just screaming into the tube, and it was so sick.
Yeah. That is one part that I really love about a mask microphone. Is like you don't have to go towards the mic to do it. You know.
Yeah.
It really because like that was the plan, and then it just kept breaking and like zapping me in the face because there's so much moisture going all over.
Bit of a health hazard.
Yeah,
all
the
this stuff.
zaps.
The zaps were getting annoying, so I was like, well, I'm not going to mask for this next show, and then the next show I didn't do a mask, but I might bring it back at some point.
It's all ephemeral, though, isn't it?
Facial features.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Some things will be different. Some things will break. Some things.
Yeah. Can't do much banter with a mask microphone either, because no one knows what you're saying.
No, and and you'd really lose the facial component of the show as well. You know what I mean?
It does look pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's very. It's very. It's almost like how ear drummers are just like will drum along with the song. It's almost like your face is like performing along with the music.
Yes,
Sometimes,
exactly.
you know what I mean? It's adding another performance element to it.
Putting in the work.
Do you get a sore face afterwards sometimes?
Yeah, I might. Like maybe cheeks. Definitely. Throat can take a bashing sometimes. Depends on if I'd been like sick or whatnot the week before.
Well, do you guys sound check as loud as you play? Like,
we need to get better at sound checks. We'll usually just go up there and be like, yeah, everything turns on.
It's all
I think
on.
We're good.
It's like the bare minimum, you know.
I can imagine you guys like scaring the shit out of a audio engineer sometimes. You know?
They also like it because we're just like, you just do whatever. And they're like, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And they'll just
like,
have a bit
it
of
doesn't
fun.
need to sound good, but if you can, that'd be nice, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so because that's interesting because like you're obviously the live thing is the
creme de la creme.
Yeah. And then
That's my thing.
but you
That's what I
you
like.
went in and recorded at Roundhead with Stephen Marr. Are you guys quite hands off then when it comes to the recording and stuff, or do you are you getting involved in that as well, or are you just kind of like how does that work?
For that particular one, that was a rush because we just wanted to get the whole thing done in one day.
Right.
So we're like, okay, well, that song had a couple mistakes in it, so that's good. Yeah, that's good.
All live takes.
And Stephen just let you away with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
He probably didn't know what the song sounded like, so he's like, well, that sounds good. I guess.
Ooh,
He's like, you
bash
guys
it
want to
out.
do another one? It's like, nah,
Next song.
next song.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's awesome. He's so fast. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it was
like-
awesome. The setup and then it was like a 10-hour day.
But yeah, pretty hands off at the moment. Hopefully we're going to do some recording with him soon. He just sorted out.
And do you find that like interesting maybe getting into more of the like sonic and recording side of what the band sounds like?
Yeah. Well, I studied music at university, did the whole technology paper
Oh, you did the
thing and
technology
whatnot. So I know a decent amount about it and like different things I could do. But I don't know if I want to do that for night lunch project thing. Maybe just let people find out what's best for us. But yeah,
It just,
depends.
yeah, what Steve did was pretty cool. It was just like pretty hands off. Just plug it in and go. And like, there's not a lot of
Especially
not a lot of on the spot, you know, messing around. It's just like how it sounds.
Yeah.
Quite raw, I guess, is what
Yeah.
you'd say.
But yeah, especially a big studio like that where I'm like super out of my zone, where I'm like, oh fuck, man, I don't even know if I'm supposed to breathe in here, you know?
Yeah.
Because we're such a poor band, you know. We're playing planks of wood, you know. We shouldn't be in big fancy studios. So
Did feel cool.
I think it might have been a bit of a thing where I'm like, oh, a bit out of my element here, so I just let the professional do their thing, which I think people have done lots of studies on, like recording studio hierarchies. Yeah, making us artists look feeble.
That's why the desk is so big.
Yeah.
exactly.
They don't need all that stuff. It doesn't work.
It's all mind games.
Yeah, telling us what to do.
Yeah.
You know.
Did you have a shower at the studio? Did you see the shower?
No.
I just got a great
There's a
shower.
shower.
It's fucking sick.
Have you had a shower in there?
I haven't had a shower. I did think about it though, but no.
Well, next
Tim
time.
Finn's probably had one in there.
I'd say all the Finns probably had one.
Yeah.
Maybe together. That's how they get
Very
ready.
close.
My brother, my
Very
son.
close, yeah.
I was watching one of the coolest things I've seen around here was actually watching Liam Finn do his. He was like live streaming over Twitch, making his next album. But you could just watch him like he did like a live improvised concert, and then took all the recordings from that. And I was just watching him over Twitch for like 4 or 5 hours, just sit in the main console room with Pro
awesome.
Tools, like recording guitar parts and talking to the chat, stuff like that. Like that was fucking sick.
That's real cool.
I love Liam Finn.
Same.
It's probably he's my Finn. You know what I mean?
He's
He's our Finn.
our generation's Finn.
Yeah.
You guys are the next Crowded House. Imagine someone saying that. Do you guys get the Dunedin sound thing much? Like, has anyone? Because it kind of went full. By the time I was making music, because both of us went in from Two Cartoons, we went in from Dunedin, but because we started in Dunedin, we hit this like inversion point where no one was being like, "Oh, Dunedin sound." They were all the countries were like, "You're probably sick of hearing about Dunedin sound."
Cracker.
They talked to us about Dunedin sound as if it was something that we were sick of.
Right.
And has it come like full circle the way around again, where they're like there is a Dunedin sound again now, or like you guys are probably so different from what that jangly guitar thing that you kind of get to like
the moody
escape it.
Big overcoats, jangly. It's cool, like the Chills and all them, and there's a lot of bands that do that. A lot of I don't know, whatever you call that. It's
People
cool.
are always trying to find the new Dunedin sound. I remember someone said that it's like 660. You know, it's like they were in Dunedin and
they make sound. Yeah, it's all just so there's no, there's so many different sounding bands that the Dunedin sound is a very diverse thing.
I do like all the different phases that all the music goes through, though. You know, there's a pretty good phase of new music that's coming out in Dunedin.
It's
at
quite
the moment.
heavy at the moment.
It's really heavy, and I really like it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of different. It's not just heavy
But
from
it's also heavy, but it's like also real weird.
Yeah,
know?
real
It's
weird.
Not like it's not just heavy for heavy. It's like heavy and kind of strange.
well,
Like
it's
Human Susan and
Riot Gull.
Riot Gull and Dale Kerrigan. You know,
Yeah.
they're just all heavy and weird.
Well, think about like in 5-10 years time, what it's gonna. People are gonna look back on this time and be like, "Wow, that Nichols family."
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
could not only all the bands that they're in, but like all the people who are in bands with them will watch them and start being like, "Wow, we can do that. We can like."
It's kind of almost already there, you know.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
Nichols family.
I mean, I remember when I turned up, they were like maybe still in high school or just out of high school, and they were doing a band called A Distant City, and it was like
Yeah.
fucking already amazing. And Josh was already amazing. I was just like, holy shit, these guys.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, it's good. I think like there is always like a kind
into
of
the mic.
darkness to Dunedin sound that's like either like melancholic, which is like the old chill stuff, I think, but now has gotten a little bit more like, oh, we're like isolated and no one cares, so we can just like be free and do whatever we want and dark, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's really cool. I'm so glad that how did you guys hook up with iGum? Because I'm really glad that iGum have been doing a lot to bring Dunedin bands up and get them out of Dunedin. Like,
They love it.
How did you guys link up with them in the first place? Like, did you just get it? Did Joel just message you or some shit? Be
It was
like,
pretty much like
It
that.
might
I
have
think.
been the Koizilla crew, even.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they were all shacked up with them.
They'd done
And
some
then,
stuff.
Yeah, because it was them that gave us our first Wellington show, iGum.
yeah, right.
I believe.
Oh, we played a house party of some of the iGum people, and then
Yeah. It was the Live to Air, the Radio 1 Live to Air.
that's
We've
right.
done it.
they're like,
'Cause
that was cool.
They would have seen that and been like, "Whoa, this looks weird." Wait, they're both Liam? I have to get them up. You know.
We were full of gimmicks.
Yeah, and I mean, they're such a good crew to be in with down in Wellington as well. Like,
Yeah, Wellington's very receptive.
Yeah,
They like
we had a lot of
Night
fun
Watch.
shows up in Wellington.
yeah, you really should have gone to Wellington for
I
university.
screwed it up. You know. Nah,
not
I'd
too
probably
late, you
still
know.
be playing guitar if I was. Went to
Yeah,
Wellington.
you would be being weird.
Yeah.
You'd be in a few more bands, that's for sure.
Yeah, I probably
Doing
wouldn't
like-
have long hair.
You'd probably have like a Radiohead covers band,
Yeah, hopefully.
or like
Yeah.
Kasabian covers band.
I was saying that the other day. There's not enough rock going around. Hard rock.
They don't make them like
You
they
know,
used
where's
to.
the Queens of the Stone Age rip-offs these days?
You know, back in our day, it used to take talent to make music.
Yeah. Well, you just
Any bloke with a laptop can, you know.
For some reason, you guys bring up those bands. Just I had like a full-on imagination of somehow tricking like Radio Hauraki to play like a night lunch song, and I was like imagining the listeners of bands who are like we're used to listening to like 3 singles from Queens of the Stone Age and 2 singles from Rage Against the Machine. They're hearing a night lunch song on there. It'd be so fucking.
I reckon
sick.
it would go off.
I reckon it would as well.
We have a good tradie bogan contingent.
Yeah,
you know, and also the arty weirdos, and like.
Well, again,
it's fun.
It's back to that relatable thing. Like you do.
Tradies are like, was that a 2x4, man?
Yeah.
Build that yourself, mate.
Is that number 8 wire?
There was this guy last night who was crack up. He was slozzled, and he's like, mate, fucking animal on the drums. I'm just an asshole, but you're an animal, bro. And I was like, whoa, there's a lot to unpack here, but thanks, mate.
I hate mice.
Yeah, it got real. It got a wee bit dark. And I was like, well, you know what? You're out here. Thanks for coming. No, but I only get one night to go out, and you were an animal. And I was like, yeah, man. Have a good night. Drink heaps of water.
Nice, man. I feel like
funny.
I feel like you get that a lot.
People see themselves in you.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Like this.
You do, you do
I'd
get
be
some
more like
weird
that guy.
comments. Like, because you're in a rock band.
Yeah. And then I just get what the hell is that thing?
Yeah.
Oh, it's 2 strings. Oh.
We did have this weird, like, old British guy once, like, oh, all those groupies, that must be cool. And we're like, yikes.
No, a lot of
See you
Ubers,
later.
actually.
Yeah, a lot of Ubers. And I'm literally down to $10 in Auckland.
Yeah.
And also, like, that old, like, rock star thing just is a bit outdated, bit shitty.
No, we got girlfriends, you know.
I think it's kind of really hard to be in the Dunedin scene making music and have that kind of, and arrive at that kind of headspace as well. Like, it just doesn't,
The old rock life isn't this one, you know.
No.
They were groupies and drugs and alcohol, and we're like
sustainable.
Vegan,
with
sausages
eggs.
And
that's the thing. That's more
and
like
waters,
electronic and hip hop music now.
Mm.
Really,
Yeah.
like
True, they're the rock
Party.
stars.
because
you don't really party. I don't really party.
yeah, I do if it's the right party. Yeah, but you see, like it's all like drum because that music is better for partying to. And when it wasn't around, it was like, well, I guess we go to rock and roll shows, and sing Kiss songs. And I was like, oh, there's this thing that goes for 6 hours and it's fucking loud and bassy. And
I've actually been getting a little bit into it. Hey, I'm not as much of a music snob anymore. Like when I was in high school, I'd be like, well, no, that's not Mars Volta. No,
I know music.
Wait, they just press play.
Oh. Yeah, I love all
now I'm real
sorts of
into
music.
Yeah, right.
Especially now that I know that there's different
I want to make
types.
some like chill singer-songwriter stuff, I reckon. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Not like
Dad's house.
Yeah, true. That's a foray into that.
What was when you guys like started connecting at the hall? What was the like music that you were at the initial music that you were swapping back and forth, or like being like, I like this and I like that? Like,
that was one of the first conversations.
Yeah, it was about music, and it was Ween.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Because Ween loved Ween, and I was like, no one knows who Ween is, even though a lot of people do.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah.
I also thought the same
at
thing.
this
I was like,
goddamn sporty hall. Where I was like,
and definitely probably not in Invercargill.
Not really, no.
You said Captain Beefheart, and then I was like, oh no, I listen to Frank Zappa though.
I was like, oh, I love Frank Zappa. Still these.
Yeah. And then Shellac went and played down at Chick's.
Mm-hmm.
That was a cool gig. That was one of those first things. Guk.
Yeah.
What, Shellac played at Chick's Hotel?
Yeah.
I
2
didn't know
nights in
that.
a row.
What the fuck?
Yeah. It was awesome, man.
Holy
I
shit.
talked to Steve Albini. I was like, don't ask him about Kurt Cobain. Don't ask him about Kurt Cobain. But I didn't.
What did you have for dinner?
Hey.
Did he have his overalls on as well?
Nah, he didn't. He had like jeans. Just jeans and a t-shirt.
Very off-brand.
Someone was telling me though that Steve Albini is a big Casio watch collector.
Oh yes, he is.
And then at that gig, he was wearing the same watch that I have here, which is Dallas's watch.
The calculator watch.
Calculator Casio watch.
Wow.
Yep.
That's
the things you know.
That's
you
a
know?
real hot bit of info
Yeah.
for the podcast.
So if you want to be cool, you want to get a Casio watch.
Mhm.
You know? Mhm.
But yeah, no, liking all different types of music, really. And
Yeah.
you know, we got each other into cool bands.
Yeah.
Has there
Yeah.
been a band that you both didn't know and discovered together that you like?
I remember
It's been
when
a
Wax
bunch.
Chattels came around.
Yeah, Wax
That
Chattels.
was pretty legit. It was like everything I was looking for in a band.
Mm.
I agree. I remember going to their the first time I saw them was actually the night I quit smoking.
Okay.
And,
whoa.
and someone just passed out halfway through. I
Oi.
think through like sheer just
Intensity.
sound intensity. Yeah, I just it
So
was,
intense.
I think that's so right. It was exactly what I was looking for. I just didn't know it. Like,
Scratched a giant
it's
itch.
awesome.
They're
Yeah.
so good. They're awesome.
and there are elements to what like the chorus of House Full of Shit is very Wax Chattel, like that in a sense,
Oh,
like
yeah.
the quite
Heaps.
loud thing. That
Yeah.
I think that was part of like, I know what's going on here. Like, I think that's what got me into it so much.
Literally, all we do pretty much is be like, I like this kind of thing and like this kind of thing. We should just try to copy it.
Yeah. Like one that I really want to do is the You Wouldn't Steal a Handbag
Oh, yeah.
song. I just love to rip off that.
It's like
Get like
real
a-
spy music. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get like a wah pedal on the bow, didn't we?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I have done that. We did that for a gig not too long ago.
Oh.
It's
pretty
got a little
fun.
bit of a different sound.
Mm.
But, it's squealy.
Well, before we, thanks for talking to me.
Oh,
It's
thanks
been
for
really
coming
fun.
This is
all
easy,
the way out
You know.
to Te Ara 2? Is that what it's called?
Tiara 2 Peninsula.
Peninsula.
Yeah. You did
Thanks
very
for
well
coming
there.
out.
Well done.
Thanks.
No, it's totally easy. I'm just gutted that Parquet Courts were playing the same night last night. I could
Yeah.
see you as well.
Yeah, we'll be back. We'll
Yeah.
be back. And
Yeah.
so will they. Same night.
Yeah.
You tour together
Yeah.
but playing separate
Yeah,
shows.
yeah.
Yeah, we're touring with Parquet Courts. We're not on the same bill, but we
They just gave us all the Wii venues.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah.
just
We should
it's
hit
more
them
our
up,
thing,
mate.
Like, it's more DIY, down to earth.
We should hit them up and be like, oh, we just really want to play on the same night as you guys again.
Hey, can you just let us know when you've booked some
Yeah.
shows?
Hey, that was really fucked up. Hey, you booked a show on the night we had a show. Thanks, Parquet Courts.
Mr. Quartz? Okay.
I'll see you in the courts.
Oh,
Oh,
There you
nice.
Is there I think by the time this comes out, you would have already played the rest of the tour.
True.
Mhm.
But there's going to be plans for potential things happening in the potential future. Is that basically?
Potentially.
Yes. Right.
Potentially.
Yeah. Recording, I think, is the next thing. Like,
Now
record
this is it.
some-
We're splitting up.
Yeah, this is actually
This
this is
is
the
it.
final thing. This
Well-
podcast. This is why we brought you here.
You shouldn't
Isaac.
make jokes about that because I organised to have a podcast with a certain person down in Christchurch or do a show with them.
Mm.
And they're like, yeah, cool, I'll talk to the rest of the band. And then 2 days later, the message I got back was like, yeah, so I talked to the band and we decided to break up,
Oh
actually. I
snap!
was like, fuck, I'm sorry.
Damn.
Yeah, so that
No,
made
we'll
me feel
probably
really
just
guilty. So.
keep slogging it out,
Yeah.
Slanging it.
slanging it.
Slanging it.
Something, more intentional, more I don't know, tactical band.
Tactical band.
Recording is looking like
Like Counter-Strike.
it's very yeah.
Definitely going to do some recording soon.
With old
Whether
Stephen
we get
Maher
funding
again.
or not. And definitely going to be playing a bunch of shows up and down. Cause
Probably do
need to
some merch,
that.
do some more videos. I like
yeah,
making the videos.
do some merch.
Yeah.
Do some merch.
Would love some
You need to do some merch.
night lunch t-shirts.
Like
We're
we
pretty
said,
slack on them.
Long
terrible
sleeves.
at organizing things.
We
you
did.
know?
We've done one batch of t-shirts.
Find a manager that will work for free.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Fire out someone. We've had a few offers.
Mm.
We should probably do it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know people. I don't know. I'm from Invercargill. I
Just
find it hard to trust people.
Just ask Angus to. He's
Yeah.
got his head
McBride?
straight. Yeah.
Mm.
He'll like help you out at least.
He would, yeah.
Yeah.
He knows what's up.
Help us book things or get shit organized.
Yeah, we'll start with t-shirts first.
Oh,
and
we
then
can
we'll
do
get
t-shirts.
and then
we
we'll
know
get
how
a
to
manager.
do. We can
yeah.
manage that. We don't need to.
Yeah, t-shirts, music video, manager.
Amazon started with its first book, you know.
Whoa.
Shit.
And now it's like a beautiful.
I get what you
And
mean.
$500,000.
We start working for Amazon.
Yeah.
a small loan of.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, franchise. I see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Night Lunch.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming out.
God, bye.
Ka pai.